That guy over there who's taking up most of the picture uh, is Chuck Farnham. Yeah, every time we do a thing with Chuck Farnham, you probably get the feeling we're talking with somebody who's a Deadhead or a Grateful Dead guy because you look like that.
And I've seen a lot of Grateful Dead shows.
Have
There's
you,
that problem too.
did you do that?
Europe, Alaska, all over the country. Yeah.
What was it about them? I never really got into them.
Here, I can give you the story about how it happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
1978,
Yeah.
I was in I was in Mountain View, California, buying tickets to see Neil Young record Rust Never Sleeps at the Cow Palace. I'm in
Mm-hmm.
line. There's a whole bunch of people behind me, a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch of people in front of me, and the guy in front of me goes, "You're here for Dead tickets?" I'm like, "No, I'm here for Neil Young tickets." And he goes, "No, the Dead are coming back from Egypt, and they're going to play 5 nights at Winterland, and you got to go." And I go, you know,
How old
all
were
I
you? How old were you at this point?
probably 22,
Oh,
maybe
okay. All right. Okay.
20, maybe. And I go, dude, I only know one song, Truckin', and I really don't care. And he goes, no, 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 you got to go, you got to go. And the
Mm-hmm.
line just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And I go, and he goes, no, you got to go, you got to go. This is going to be just unbelievable. I'm like, I go, okay, what show should I go to if I'm going to do this? And he goes, all of them. And I'm like, okay, dude,
Wait a minute. Who is
I
this
know
guy?
one, I know one song. Are they going to do this song 5 nights in a row? And he goes, oh, no, no, no. You should just go. I'm like,
Wait a minute. Now,
okay,
this is just an anybody who you're talking to?
this is a rando in front of me and I'm buying Neil Young tickets, and he and his little troop of hippies are very excited. The Dead are doing 5 nights at Winterland.
Mm-hmm.
So finally I go, okay, dude, there was somebody here must know something.
Yeah.
I'll buy one ticket. He goes, Thursday. You want to go on Thursday night? I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy 2 tickets to Thursday night. So I buy the 2 tickets. I take a friend with me, and he didn't really know the Grateful Dead either. And we were kind of close, but down front. And it appeared to us as we were sitting there, I kind of tap him and I go, because we didn't know any of the music, and God knows they're not going to play Truckin'. Um, I go, are you seeing this? And he goes, these people all look like they're floating. I mean, and I go, in front of the band, they all look like they were levitating. And he goes, yeah, I see that too. And I go, what the hell is this? And he goes, I don't know. I go, and I'm like, I have no idea either. And we kept doing this, kept staring at this thing. And finally, the show's over. We go home, and we tell everybody that we went to this Grateful Dead show and we watched people levitate, it was October 21st, 1978. Fine. Come February, the Dead are going to play in San Jose at Spartan Stadium. And we have told everybody now about this fantastic floating band that that we saw. And so now we have like 15 people that actually bought tickets based on our little story with us at Spartan Stadium. And Charlie Daniels was the opening
Those were
act.
in the days when we believed in levitation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm there. I'm minding my own business. They did an entire show of basically country western music. Big River, Johnny Cash, Merle,
Mm-hmm.
all the big hits. While all these people looked at us and said, what did you see again? And the guy was up, he goes, no, 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 they were levitating. I'm telling you, they were levitating. And I go, they were levitating. And everybody went, well, nice little country afternoon with Charlie Daniels and the Grateful Dead doing Johnny Cash covers. Okay. I get home, I call the guy because I got his number. The guy was in front of
Mm-hmm.
me buying those first tickets. And I go, what the hell was that? First I see him levitating. Now I'm in a country show. And he goes, "That's why I told you to buy all the shows. You never know. Some suck, some don't." And I go, "You got to be kidding me. This is how this works?" And he goes, "They have no set list. It's whatever they feel like they're going to do." And at that point, I said, "Okay, I'm not going to miss one of these again. And I'm going to figure out this whole thing." And I saw them over 1,000 times. And it's still what it was back then. It reminds you
Well,
of going
what
to
was this? What was this levitating?
I don't know. It's like it's like, and it'll sound weird. It's like the the band plays the music and the music plays the band and the audience is some kind of weird interaction with that, and you see this thing happening.
Did other people
And
see in the other performances? Did you ever see the levitation again?
oh yeah, yeah. It when it's a good one, it's a really good one. When it's a bad one, it's a really bad one. I took the wife, she had never seen it before. We were at Shoreline and we were sitting there, and before the show started, everybody stood up at the same time. And there was no key to this. The lights didn't go down, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still sitting down, and I'm standing up. And then the music starts, and everybody starts dancing exactly the same way. And she looks over at me and goes, "Where did you guys all learn this dance? How can everybody in a room, it's like ballroom dancing and everybody's doing the cha-cha here or something. You people are all dancing exactly alike." And I go, "Yeah, it just kind of happens. It's I've taken many people understand it, many people don't understand it. It it it's like going to your high school reunion because
Well,
you see
it
the same people.
was like going to your high school reunion because most of them are dead now, right?
Well,
And they're not
it's
grateful.
kind of the
They're not
same.
grateful
Yeah,
for it.
they're less grateful than they used to be, but it turns out that it wasn't really the band, it was the music, because there are over 600 um, cover bands, or 600 Grateful Dead cover bands floating around this country right now. And the last one that went around here sold out stadiums. They're not even the band, and they're
They don't.
selling out.
They don't care if they're dead.
No, no, it's about the music, because the music seems to treat everybody the same way. It's like
It just
without the
never. It
band,
just
you still
never.
hear the
It
music.
never grabbed me. I tried. I tried to like it. You know, I tried
Yeah,
to get into it, but maybe because I never went to a concert.
yeah. I mean, the records suck. Nobody will tell you that the Grateful Dead ever made a decent record. They're bad,
Yeah,
but
but they had to
that's why
make.
the last few records they recorded at Marin Civic, and they recorded them in the dark at the Civic Center, like there was a non-existent audience there, and those sound better, but they still suck. That's why you have people with thousands of hours of tape and Sirius
Well, they
XM.
used to. They were the one band that allowed people to bring tape recorders and actually put them on stage to record the concert.
Yeah, we plugged into the soundboard out in the audience. I got pictures. I used to record a lot of shows, so yeah, and I still they did 3 nights in San Francisco in October, or in July, and I was
I
out
never
there.
even liked trucking.
I know. I I don't understand it. It's a weird thing. You really need to. Once you sit there, I think you and I sitting there at a show, we'd probably go, "Oh yeah, this makes some sense."
There's a band out now. I'm trying to remember their names now that have that same kind of
Fish.
loyalty. Fish. Yeah.
I don't like Fish at all. But the other band that's just like this is Jimmy Buffett, the Parrot Head people.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, oh my God! And the weird
But
thing,
that one I really can't understand
it's very
because
strange.
I
But
not only don't understand it, I don't like Jimmy Buffett's music.
oh, you didn't? Yeah, I like a couple of them, but his shows were very Dead-like. I saw him twice, and his shows are very Dead-like. And he actually did Grateful Dead songs during them too.
Oh, really?
So it was,
And does
it's
the
a weird.
audience levitate at a Jimmy Buffett? Well,
No, no, they were like older and drunk. Those guys drink margaritas, a lot of margaritas, a lot of margaritas. So yeah, so I'm in between Grateful Dead thingies, and the nice part now is when they do those shows, wherever they or these cover bands do the shows, nugs.net, you don't have to leave the house. I can get them satellited in here. Like Weir's doing stuff with the symphony now and some things. I can get that via satellite, so I don't have to even go outside.
Do you have a satellite dish?
They do it. They bring in a
No,
whole crew.
do you have a satellite dish?
Not in this house. No.
What do you mean not in this house?
Well, the previous house had a 12-footer. That house in San Jose had a 12-foot dish.
But there was a time where if you had a dish, I'm not talking about dish or
Oh no.
direct
It's
TV. I'm talking about a satellite dish. You could
yeah.
pick up any number of things.
I
Like we
had
used to watch a whole week as they were feeding the stations. We would watch a whole week of
or
Jeopardy.
you can watch the news in between the news.
Yeah,
It was funny.
I mean, but Jeopardy. They would send them all down, and then what
Yeah.
I would do, I was hanging out with a girlfriend who lived up in Sebastopol, and we would watch all of these, and then when I came back to San Francisco, I'd invite people over to watch Jeopardy with me, and I'd answer all the questions.
Of course you could. Yeah, nice. No, we had a 12-foot dish there in San Jose, and you could watch Letterman on a live feed to
Mm-hmm.
the East Coast. You could watch all that stuff. Funny thing, a couple weeks ago, I had to go to this conference in San Ramon, and I'm having breakfast, and the guy next to me, it was a very friendly thing, and the guy next to me starts talking to me. He used to work. He was the VP of sales for Chaparral, who created those boxes that allowed you to watch that stuff or like via satellite. So I had a Chaparral box in my house, and the guy goes, I used to work for Chaparral. And I'm like, oh my God. So me and him are rambling on about this and how to pirate the stuff off the box. And
Well,
yeah, it
I'll
was
tell you,
good.
if people think that they have a lot of fun watching YouTube,
Oh yeah.
satellite dishes were the original YouTube.
Yeah, they really
Because you
were.
would go surfing through the satellite dish and then you find something. One day we found something so bizarre that we were just gobsmacked by it. And that was a channel for, I believe, people who were involved in uh, 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 autopsies.
Yeah.
And it was an autopsy channel.
Yeah. It was like,
And you
well,
could sit there and watch them hacking people up.
hospitals would, teaching hospitals would send stuff from like Harvard to Stanford, and the doctors would be in Stanford watching autopsies, and you could dial into that channel and watch that too. It
Right.
was,
Everything was available. And they didn't scramble any of it.
no, and they had a zillion radio channels too. You could get a separate box for just radio signals and listen to millions of different radio channels all over the world.
There
That's
was
how
a
they
time, though, when I could go online, and I believe it was broadcast.com, which was owned by
Yeah.
Mark Cuban. That's how Mark Cuban made his original
Yeah.
billions, because he sold it off to, I think it was Yahoo or somebody like that, and then it didn't work for them, but they had their $5 billion that they were paid for it. And that's how
Right.
he became a billionaire. And that channel, that used to have a lot of foreign channels. You could listen to radio from all over the world.
It was like shortwave, back in the 70s. Almost.
Yeah, but you could hear it clear, and it was like
Yeah.
and that was his big thing, broadcast.com. But what happened is a lot of these outfits said, oh, wait a minute, we don't want you pirating our signal,
Right.
So then it didn't become worth it to Yahoo to pay all these people for the rights to their signal. So
And now they're sliding stuff around now where with we had the dish, we didn't have to watch commercials either. That was our thing.
right. But there was 2 minutes worth of silence, however.
Exactly. But during that 2 minutes of silence, maybe you saw Brokaw drinking coffee and farting and
Yeah.
doing the stuff that made him look like a real person.
Yeah. Don't you wish you had that footage today?
Yeah. It's probably around somewhere.
Mm.
Like the old with a Buddy Rich yelling at the guy to get off the band because he had a get out of the bus because he had a beard. We had all that stuff way back in the day, and now you find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I was just looking at my watch because every now and then it buzzes my hand,
Yeah,
and then it's breaking news, so I got to look at it because it might be something important, and then it
important,
isn't,
really? I can't imagine that in the news.
and then it isn't. Okay, so
I just shake my head. I watch the news, and I'm like,
yeah, but my new watch
oh, you got a new one?
got
I
the
got
I got the Ultra. This
oh,
this is the best Apple Watch
I,
they ever made.
I got the high-end Apple phone the other day.
Oh, really? I'm
Oh
waiting.
yeah,
I'm waiting
you're
because I'm
just
expecting an influx of money. And when that happens, I'm just going to buy the phone outright. I'm not going to pay for it in payments, you know.
yeah. Well, here you'll like this. Why I have the new watch or why the phone is even worse. So my parents got themselves hooked up in a geriatric trial for
How
some
old are they? How because you're no
well,
youngster.
my stepdad is 67. My mom
Wait a
is
minute. How old are you?
65.
So he's your stepfather is 2 years older than you are.
We went to high school together.
Oh gosh, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, no, no.
only with Chuck Farnham would that happen.
Yeah, it's a weird week. So anyway, they're involved in this program through some pharmaceutical company. You go to this hidden building, and you go in there, and they inject, I don't know, licorice into your eye or something. It's some eye thing. Anyway, I had to take my mom there a week ago, a week of Thursday.
Mhm.
Everything's fine. Somehow my phone doesn't get out of the building. For whatever reason, it's now locked in this compound in the middle of Nevada.
Mhm.
And then the day after we were there, which would be a week from yesterday, would be tomorrow, is a thing called Nevada Day, which is a rare occurrence on this planet, where they celebrate becoming a state like no other state does. They shut
I'm
down
trying to
the entire
remember. I'm
state.
trying to remember. They were pretty much. They were right, but weren't they right before Arizona in becoming a state?
I think so.
Yeah.
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 Well, they shut down the whole state every year and have a big parade. And
I don't
there are
remember that. I
hookers,
lived in Nevada. I don't remember that.
hookers, guns. It's crazy.
Well, the hookers part I like.
Yeah. Well, they shut down this building and they're not taking phone calls. And I'm
I
like,
wonder
oh,
if there are
well,
any.
here,
I wonder if there are any hookers with guns.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the gun guys are usually right behind the hooker parade.
Oh, okay.
So it's like hooker parade float, gun guys.
So we might say that the gun guys are rear-ending the hooker float.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And the horses are up front because the gun guys aren't carrying guns, they're shooting them. Real guns.
They're
Yeah.
shooting them.
Oh, yeah.
There's that old thing.
40 guys dressed in red all shoot guns.
I watch these guys in Muslim countries who are really happy, and then they shoot their guns up in the air.
Yeah,
Well, don't those bullets come back down?
they do. There's a thing called gravity.
Yeah, and is the propulsion as fast as the propulsion going up? No, I guess not.
No, probably not.
So people don't get hurt by the bullets coming down.
I don't know. You get hit on the head from something that's hundreds of feet in the air. I would think that would hurt.
Do they shoot them straight up or do they shoot them at an
No,
angle?
shooting them out would make sense. When you see them, they're always shooting them like fireworks, straight up.
Straight up. Oh God! Because then they come straight down.
Right. It's not good.
It's not bright. No.
No. So my phone is stuck in this building for 6 days because they're not open on the weekend, blah, blah, blah. Finally, I show up, get the phone. The phone's older, and it's kind of not working as well as it could, so I went in to get it.
Hold on a second. See this guy. I knew this guy would call me. Oh God. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
So I got the new Apple phone. It was a very reasonable $1,700. $1,700 for a telephone.
1,700?
Yeah.
Why? Those
You
things.
have to ask,
Which one did you
them.
get? Which one did you get?
It's a 15 Pro Max with a
Oh, the
terabyte of
Max.
memory.
You mean the one, the largest size phone they've got?
It's a yeah, but it's not that big. It's about the same size as my other one.
Let's hold it up. Let me see the screen. See, turn it the other way. Huh? Because here's mine, my current one. How does
Yeah.
that look to you?
What's the camera look like on? Yeah,
Yeah, but
probably a
I
14 or
think yours
something.
may be the larger one, but 1700. These phones I think go for about 1100, 1200 now. The Pro, not the Max.
Right. This is the Mac.
Does it fit in
It-
your pocket? Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll also do if I got no cell service, it will do satellite communication.
Mm-hmm.
So I can send, I can send an SOS to AAA and get my car
I
fixed or
think
whatever.
this has something satellite based. See, this watch is like a sports watch that they have, but it's 49 millimeters opposed to 46 millimeter,
Right.
so
I have the bigger.
it has a larger landscape on it, and it makes it easier for me to read at my age. You know.
I've got the Model 3, but I rarely wear the thing. I needed it because I didn't have a phone. Oh, and does yours work as a telephone as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
an
yeah.
AT&T
I like
account.
that feature was good.
Well, what happens is the other day I left the apartment. I forgot my phone, and then I went, I don't need it.
No, no.
Like my phone just rang there, but it also rang on my watch.
And if you can text people on the watch really nicely because it's got a microphone, and so
Hmm.
you just dictate whatever
I
message.
dictate. If I send you a reply, I
Right.
dictate it. I mean, sometimes
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looks a little garbled when you read it, but who cares? You know.
Yeah, and that's been pretty good. They've got that kind of figured out. But
Well, I do remember the days when, like, I remember Apple had the Newton, and they tried to have
right,
voice recognition, and it took forever.
795 that thing.
It took forever for that phone to understand what you were saying.
Yeah,
You know, it never worked. Finally,
yeah.
now they've got dictation down.
I figured it out.
You dictate a couple of things so the phone gets to know your voice, you know, and it's doing everything,
It's
you
good.
know.
I agree. I like it a lot. But man, so I've been running back and forth to the hospital is where I've been.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I got two calls this morning, and I discovered, I didn't think it was going to be a bother, but I had to be the guy who said yes to the DNR,
Oh boy.
and I I fell apart. I I I mean, I've known the guy 50 years, right? My stepdad is in the hospital.
The guy that was in high school with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known the guy 50 years. I think we had one argument in 50 years.
And he's
So
and he's
that's pretty
he's
good.
basically he's dying.
Yeah, I don't like using the word, but he's back and he's been in and out of hospitals for the last 3 weeks. And by in and out, I mean in a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
into another hospital, into another hospital. And his oxygen level this morning is not good. He keeps trying to pull the thing off. They put him in restraints so he wouldn't pull the oxygen off.
This is getting depressing.
Dude, you ought to be me. You ought to be trying to do anything and have a phone call about that. I, it's horrible. The whole thing is horrible. It's really horrible for him, or maybe he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel that. I don't know. I've talked to him. He's not communicating at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
This morning they rolled him back in. Apparently, there's a spot in ICU that I haven't been to. They have an ICU for ICU.
Wow. Hey, listen, we got to go.
Yeah,
We'll talk more
yeah.
about this.
That was